All right, SCMS staff, we've made it through the first two segments of this video series here on the Exact Path optional training. Again, just a reminder, this is the optional training that was done on September 10th and 13th of 2019. Just to review and give an overview of the pilot of Exact Path here at SCMS. The first video, again, focused on the teacher view. The second video wrapped up that teacher view, looking a little bit at reports, and then we spent some time talking about the student view as well. So for this last video, I just want to review the student and teacher expectations with you, and then talk about kind of where we are going forward. Again, this is I'm recording this on September 11th, 2019. So if you're watching this in the future, it's hopefully some of the information is good for you to take a look at, but also know that this is where we were at this point in time. So this information, this PowerPoint presentation, or excuse me, this slides presentation, and the document I'm about to click on are both found, if you wanted to see them, in the under the SCMS General Docs and Google Docs. If you're somebody that doesn't have this folder available to you, please let us know in the office, and we will make sure to share it with you. But it's under the Hawk Time piece here. You'll see this piece of information, this slide here, slideshow, and also the Hawk Time expectations for Exact Path for teachers here, which is this document that I've already pulled up here. So again, I'm going to probably do some really poor presentation, show some poor presentation skills here by kind of reading through this with you, but just want to give you an overview. Again, our point here for this year is that we are piloting Exact Path. There's a lot of work that we've done on the back end here, both last spring and this summer and into this fall to get ready for this program. Our student expectations, and you have that there's the separate rubric, but just a quick overview: our engagement, citizenship, preparation, and attitude. We will be providing feedback to students every 6 weeks, so that there is that rubric that you will be filling out for them. During Exact Path Hawk Time, we want our students to enter the room, sit in their seat, and begin working on their learning path. At this point in time, we do not want students working in small groups or with a partner, because we want to make sure that they're on their own path. As we progress and we see that some students are able to help other students, or we feel that they can function together because they're doing the same topic, we may allow for that. But for right now, we want to try to keep the reins as snug as possible here. Also, students must be working on Exact Path, not on their homework during this time. This is not a time to catch up on a book that they need to read, or their math homework for the next period. And again, I will remind you that students will need earbuds, as many lessons will need may contain a short video, or we'll have the option for them to have it read aloud to them, the slides that they're going through on the lesson. For all staff, we want you to make sure you're holding students accountable, maintain a positive attitude towards Exact Path, and remind students that they are working on the skills that will benefit them in all areas of school. That's why everybody is involved with it. We also want you to be able to get to know your students and be willing to help, and then follow through to make sure that students are working the entire Hawk Time. We will not have any incentive, whether it be school-wide or classroom-wide, that will allow for students to just say, hey, you know what, Monday and Tuesday everybody worked hard, let's have a free day on Thursday. Not doing that with Exact Path, and that cannot take place in any classroom. That's a big no-no. We want our kids working on this during the half an hour that we've dedicated for it. So just be sure that that is something that you're following through on your end. We want to help promote school-wide incentives and competitions, and then again complete any feedback rubrics again every 6 weeks. So I did have somebody ask if they set something up in their class eventually, if the kids all met their goal of everybody was completed X number of trophies in a week. And we'll talk about that as we get talking about some badges and stuff. So we do have that opportunity, again, like I said in the earlier video, to maybe do some smaller stuff within the classroom. But for right now, we want to just focus on school-wide stuff as we're getting going here. So general procedures, again, everybody will run that learning path progress report at the end of each week. You'll review that progress, and you'll address concerns with students, conference with students, contact home if there's habitual issues. You'll want to do a personal check-in with students as well. And I'm not expecting, just want to make sure everybody here knows that you're going to put this in your weekly lesson plans. All right. What I am asking though is for you to keep a running record of just who you've made contact with. I can tell you there are people who have those larger groups, are science, allied arts, social studies teachers. You will, your connection when you check in with a kid, it might be 30 seconds or a minute, just to kind of touch base, see where they're at. And actually the same can be said for ELA and math people as well when you're just checking in with kids. People who are doing the larger groups here, who are not math or ELA, you're going to be there to assist struggling students, kind of that guide by the side. If they're on a problem they can't really understand, maybe moving next to them, trying to see if you can provide some assistance, supporting them in any way possible. Again, monitoring what they're doing, making sure that they're on task, and then again keeping a log of those students that you contact each day. You're going to be able to see when you run your progress report if there's a kid that's really phoning it in, and those are the kids you're going to want to be paying that special attention to throughout the week and doing some goal setting with. Math and ELA, again, you're going to be doing similar things here from what we just outlined, but you're going to be more of that small group instruction, and we talked about how we want to group our students together. Again, I am not looking for that these first couple weeks. I think people need a chance to really get to know the program, but once we get going here, we're a couple weeks in, start pulling those kids for small instruction, maybe telling some students, hey, I'm going to talk to you about your sentence structure, this piece of it on Thursday, so just know that's coming up. So work on other parts of your learning path at this time. And when you pull those kids, you might do things like a pre-teach, a reinforce. If you have something that you have in your arsenal that you've taught this before and you feel really comfortable using it, feel free to do so. If you want to, though, there are those opportunities within ExactPath that you can look at lesson plans that they have preset for these different topics. I would not. We don't want to just go with just like sending out the additional video clips to kids, right? That's not what we're looking for here. We actually want to look at some teaching to take place in that small group instruction. When you're doing that, the rest of the kids, maybe you pull about 2 or 3 kids. Everybody else is working on their ExactPath path at that time when you're working with other students. I would think that those small group instructions will probably be about 15 of the 30 minutes will be spent in that time. And then so that gives you time, that affords you time to go around and help students that may be struggling on their learning path during that time within your class. So again, running record, I'm not expecting a lesson plan from you. When you turn in your lesson plans are really just for what course subjects you're teaching, courses you're teaching, not for Hawk Time. But I do want you to keep that running record for your records, for all of us, and so that in case there's ever any questions, we're there to take a look at it. We can also review it, talk about, and just kind of check ourselves and make sure that we're seeing all of our students here. So it could be a clipboard, it could be something electronic if that's what you want to do, but that's what we're asking for, that running record piece. All right, so those are the expectations. Just a reminder, moving forward here, this year, obviously, we want to learn, and learn some more. We want to rely on each other. I will tell you, we've done a lot of legwork on this to try to get this thing up and running. I've learned a lot from this program, or about this program, and I also know, though, that the best teacher is going to be experienced. So we will have people that will really take on to this, and I think we can rely on them. We can rely on each other. We can share ideas. We are piloting this product, so we want to make sure that we highlight the positives and the negatives and see if it's something that we want to use moving forward. What I think is a positive about it is it gives every student an opportunity to be working on this skill set and meets them where they're at. So that's what we're excited about. It's not perfect, so let's make sure that we're giving it our best go. And if you see stuff that's up with the program that you think is a positive or something that's maybe could be improved, please take note of that, because we want to make sure that we're aware of all those different things as we move forward here, and we have to start making decisions in the winter into the spring about the program. So the last thing I'll just say is challenges. We'll be looking at some challenges here. There's a national trophy challenge that takes place from October 1st to November 8th of this year that we'll be entering as a school. So we'll also be looking for a trophy challenge for our students. And right now I'm looking at rewarding the top 10 for each grade, and we'll have more details to come. But that's an incentive thing. That's a reward thing that I want to hold off on. We're not going to get too crazy with those right now. These first couple weeks, we just want you to get into the program and get used to it. So that's where we're heading. Hopefully, if you have any questions, or hopefully if you had any questions moving into this video series, I was able to answer some of them for you. You're feeling good about ExactPath. If you still have questions, please feel free to email me. Know that I'm not expecting perfection from anybody. As we enter this phase here, what we do need to make sure though is that we do have students working on this program. We'll be hurting cats here if we allow students to play games or do other homework during this hawk time initially while we're learning the program, and we're not holding them accountable. It will be very difficult for us to get them to a point to where they are staying on task the entire time. So make sure that you're holding students accountable, that they're working on ExactPath during ExactPath time, and know that we will grow together in this. And if you have any concerns that pop up, please feel free to contact me. All right, that concludes our video series. Hopefully you liked it. Contact me if you still have questions.